Om Shanti. Today's Murli is about Baba asking us to realize that Ravan is our number one enemy and defeat it with the power of knowledge and yoga. So, sometimes when we hear this teaching from Baba, our whole focus is that I have to defeat Ravan through yoga. But I think that, it's very important or equally important to understand that the knowledge of Ravan is also very important. And although technically, theoretically, we all know that the vices are Ravan, lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, we don't really realize this is our enemy. Do we? So, do we realize that this is the enemy? Now, let me share something that one sister shared with me. It is very, very pertinent to what Baba is saying today. So, she lives in a village and she told me that, I have a son and he's my only son. And then there is this distant relative who died and he left a son. And that brother, that son of the distant relative is somewhat, 5 years elder to my son. So when my son was 8 years old, I had to take this other boy into my house because he had no parents, there was nobody, and there was a lot of social pressure that I should take him into my household and I should take care of him. So my husband and I agreed, and then this son walked into our house and he said that, and she said that he was very sweet, he was very nice. So he would do everything, he would love my son, so they treated each other like brothers, and there was a lot of friendship and love in that relationship. But now it's been almost 10 years he's with us. But what I realize is he's pampering my son, but he's also making him, adopt many addictions and many other stuff. And now my son is into his trap. He's kind of into his trap, and he doesn't listen to any of us. He doesn't listen to the father, he doesn't listen to the mother. He only listens to that boy. And that boy is like, he's very loving, very sweet, but he's not allowing my son to do anything productive or study or do anything at all. And if this continues, then my son will become very useless, and then probably I will, the natural selection that I would make for, the business, for running the business in future or anything, would be this boy. Because my son is totally incapacitated in his presence. He is not allowing him to learn, study, grow, anything. He is just, taking him to play and entertaining him and asking him to waste his time. And my son is so amused in his company that he doesn't want to leave anything. And now my son is 18, and it took us 2 years to in this 10 years, in the last 2 years, we have started to realize that this is what is going on. Until 8 years, we also thought that, there is nothing wrong with this boy and everything. He's like a gift or a boon that we have received. But nowadays we have started to realize that this is what is going on, and however much I try to convince my son, he is not listening to me. So she told me this, and I was just thinking, that sometimes, it's the enemy makes you so comfortable, so happy, so he gives you everything, and then you don't realize that that's an enemy that has made you so unproductive, and that's an enemy that has made you an addict. And so just like, even if the mother or the father is trying to convince that boy that this is not good for your future, so right now he's not giving you any pain, or maybe he'll never give you any pain in future also, but what you're doing in his company is not serving you well, and in the long term you will see that you are of no use, you are not able to do anything productive. So this realization, and the son says, why do you think negative about him? He's such a sweetheart, he's always only doing what makes me feel good. So this feeling good is a very big problem sometimes. So these senses, they always try to tell you that what feels good is good, but what robs you of your power is never good. What robs you of your focus, concentration, what builds negative sanskars into you is never good. But while doing that, if you're feeling comfortable, if you're feeling good, it becomes a very big, illusion, and you cannot see through it. And this, when I listened to this story, so I was just thinking about how much that mother has to make effort. She has to make equal effort as Baba. Because Baba's work is also precisely that. Baba is every day trying to convince us that what makes you feel good is actually depleting you of your energy. And Baba's, so knowledge, experience, knowing from somebody who knows better is very important, because sometimes we are not, sometimes, or I would say when we are under the influence of vices, we are never able to understand that Ravan is my enemy. So lust, attachment, greed, so they are all mediums to satisfy your physical senses or your emotional needs. And then anger, when you get angry, it quenches your ego, or when your ego is fed, you feel so high. So all of these things, when they come together, they create an illusion that I'm feeling very good. But Baba says that this is why you need knowledge. Knowledge is required to see that which is not immediately visible. Yes, so you need knowledge of diseases and dirt, and you see science has given us the knowledge of COVID. Now, if there was no science, we would keep getting infected and nobody would know why. So you see, knowledge is always required to see that which is not very obvious to the two eyes. So sometimes that knowledge comes from human research, but Baba says even where human research cannot go, the ultimate enemy, because sometimes people will think that a virus or a bacteria or a nation or a religion or some people, they are the problem, or maybe it is the stars, or it is the astronomical condition, or it is somebody else who is the issue or the problem. So even science takes us there. It makes us look a little deeper, but then not at the ultimate. But Baba says you must understand that every problem in your immediate life, in the society, in the world, is an offshoot of low consciousness. So every problem is a result of low consciousness. So anything that has to be corrected can only be corrected by raising the consciousness. So Baba says all problems are creations of weak states of the soul. So even if there is something happening with the 5 elements of nature, don't get deceived that it's the problem of the 5 elements. No, the source, the center, the fulcrum is always the soul, and it is spiritual power which, when gets depleted, then everything else becomes, very problematic. So you see that technically, ideally, nature should be here and soul should be here. So nature would automatically serve souls. But when souls come down in consciousness, then they have to fight with nature, or they have to beg and plead to nature, because that's when the whole system is turned upside down. So Baba says, I am giving you the knowledge, and knowledge is like the glasses through which you can see, which is very, very not obvious. So that which you cannot see through the naked eye, you cannot see through aided instruments, or where the human mind cannot go. That knowledge I am giving you, that it is the depletion of the soul which is the root cause of every problem, everything that's going on in the world. And Baba says this depletion happens because of 5 vices that you're so guardedly and so happily guarding in your life. So lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, which we are holding on to very tightly, very firmly in our life, that's the root cause of all problems. And Baba says, and they appear so sweet to you, they give you such a beautiful experience that, when you think about it, Baba comes and says lust is your biggest enemy. You say, no, lust only made me feel good until now, it never made me feel bad. But that's how, it's sapping your energy, because you're not even able to know that it's sapping your spiritual energy, and you are giving away your purity, peace, happiness, potential to be in your spiritual power through this engagement in lust. And then, we argue and we reason and we talk about experience, and we say that, no, in my experience, I feel that attachment has only given me happiness, or lust has only given me happiness, but it's not like that. So Baba says that's the paradox that we are facing, and we cannot rely on our feelings and experience to discern this enemy, because this enemy has behaved so sweet. We will never be able to figure out this is the enemy through our own wisdom. So that's the that's the game that Ravan has played. And even in the scriptures, when they show Ravan, how does he come? He comes in the form of a Brahmin. Yes, Ravan comes in the form of a Brahmin, and he calls out to the morality of Sita. Yes, so that's how it is. You see, Ravan comes dressed as somebody who is going to do a lot of good to us, and it's come for us, and then it calls on our morality, and it asks, if you are a wife or a husband, then it's your duty to be lustful, and your attachment is something you owe to your children. So Baba says this is how it calls out on your morality, and this is how it comes as a Brahmin. Now you see, we all like to watch that play where Ravan comes and dupes Sita, and Sita crosses the line. So there is a line of the soul So the soul has to stay within the boundaries of purity. But we cross that boundary of purity and engage in purity, which is impurity, which is physical, mental, emotional, every kind, because we get duped by Ravan. Now we see the play, but we don't realize that that play is going on in my own life, and I am that Sita. So Baba says that I am giving you this knowledge, which is like a light. Baba always says that it is called Gyan Prakash. And just like a light makes you see something which you cannot see in darkness. And you see, it is very interesting that even when you use, light, physical light also. So you see, X-rays is a form of light. And then when you perform that X-ray, you can see inside the body. And so it's always light, some other form of light, which makes you see some other aspect. So it's always, this light is a very interesting thing. So there are different forms of light which make you aware of different things. So there is, there is this UV rays, which these days people are using for many things, or there are other things. So Baba says that I am giving you this light of knowledge which makes you see Ravan, which makes you see the vices and what they are doing to you as a soul and how they are depleting you. And you cannot see, without this light of knowledge, you cannot recognize Ravan. That's the thing. But the thing is, this requires faith, because you see that we always call out to Baba. We say that you are the remover of sorrow, bestower of happiness, and you are the one who will take me to liberation and liberation in life. And then Baba comes and says that I am God, and I have come from the soul world, and I am here to take you back. I am here to change you into your purest form and take you back. Have you ever heard anybody talk like this? Even if, in the scriptures or in any guru, any sadhu, nobody talks like this. Nobody says, I've come from the soul world and I've descended to take you back and I'm going to change you into a deity. Nobody says that. So Baba says he's the only one who talks to us like that. He comes and gives his introduction. And if I look intently, I would know that nobody ever told me this. And Baba says that when you listen to me and you have faith that I am that Baba, then you surrender to my knowledge. And because this knowledge you cannot check by any means, because your own sanskars, your own buddhi, your own mind, your body, everything is under the control of Ravan. So it's only through knowledge that you can discern Ravan. And then Baba says it is through power of yoga. So first thing is you consider the enemy an enemy. And then you understand that the enemy is very fierce, that the enemy has entered every aspect of your life, and this enemy is really powerful, and it has grown into power because you have fed it with your attention and you have given it support for so long. So when you understand the intensity and the when you discern the enemy and you understand the intensity of how enemy like he is, then what you do, you understand how much yoga power you need to have. And then Baba says the more you are with me, so the more your man and buddhi is connected with me, then you will always have the sensibility and the power to not get duped by Ravan. And then when you don't use your vices, you will lose it eventually. So Baba says this is how it goes. So One thing is you discern the enemy, then you are always connected with me in yoga. So you never allow your man and buddhi to be duped by the vibrations or the opinions or whatever is going on around you. You don't let it be influenced by the old world, and you're always in awareness of what Baba says and who am I as Baba's child. And when you are always in awareness, then when your body, your mind, everything is betraying you, your old sanskars are all over the place, then you will be able to still act wisely, sensibly, in accordance with your virtues and knowledge. And then when you don't use vices for very, very long, then you will lose it and you will create the other set of sanskars. But Baba says it is very important to understand that Ravan is your enemy, and only through knowledge and yoga power can you win over it. So this is first thing that Baba wants to say today. And then there is this thing in the Murli which I found very interesting. Baba says that, those who call themselves Brahma Kumars and Kumaris are the ones who claim a right to the inheritance. Now, sometimes there are people who ask you that, will only Brahma Kumars and Kumaris go to heaven and nobody else? So we say, yes, of course. Then why is it like that? Then you have to understand that nobody else is telling that you will go to heaven. So is any guru, any sadhu, any scripture saying that you will go to heaven or describing heaven to you? No. Baba says that nobody is telling you that I will change you into a deity. So nobody is talking about divine sanskars, nobody is talking about a divine lifestyle. So Baba says when there is no talk about deitism, and there is no talk about, nobody is promising that you will change from a human to a deity. Everybody says you will go into mukti, into liberation. They are not saying that there is a world where there are bodies and souls together and that is a world of happiness. Nobody is saying that. So Baba says only when you come to Brahma Kumaris do you get this aim, and then you also get the method, and then you understand that yes, if I create deity sanskars, then I will become a deity. And so Baba says until you become a Brahma Kumar Kumari, and the first sign of a Brahma Kumar Kumari is reading the Murli. So at least you are a BK when you read the Murli. So Baba says only through the Murli you get this aim, only through the Murli do you get the method. So you have a right to inheritance of a happy world only when you become a Brahma Kumar Kumari. And then Baba says that of those, it is only the ones who have made effort and inspired others and also done service to make others the same as themselves who claim it. Then Baba says, when you come and become a BK, you start listening to the Murli, you have a right, you have a claim to inheritance. But then how do you claim it? Only when you follow Srimad and also make others like yourself. Because you need a praja also. Without a praja, how will you become a raja? So Baba says, that claim is generated when you become a BK, but that claim is taken, or you have a right to that claim when you start following Srimad and you start making others like yourself. So this is also something that Baba says. And then today Baba says that, Baba says that don't You mustn't ask the father about each individual one. The father would say, how would you benefit? Just remain engaged in your own business. Just think about having your sins burnt away. Now, let us understand this thing. So, again, I will share something which I observed in this journey. So, there is this one sister, she lost her brother in COVID. And, after her brother died, every time she would, every day she would message me, call me, and she would ask about where her brother is, or is he having a good life, or did he have a comfortable birth, or is he happy in the next life, or such questions. And whenever I ask her to do the course, so I told her many times that, instead of asking so much about your brother, why don't you do the course? So she says, no, I can't do the course. I'm not interested in spirituality. So you see, this is what is going on. Now, you are interested whether your brother is having a good life in the next life or not. But the method to have a good life in the next life is to understand what karma you are doing right now and to change it to good karma. But you are so interested in your brother that you're calling the center for that. But the true service that you can take from the center, which is understanding the law of karma and changing your karma so that you can have a good life, you're not doing that. So Baba says, even if, and you see, the brother also didn't care about understanding these things earlier. So Baba says that everybody is thinking about others. But the thing is, nobody else can change your destiny. Only you can decide what is in your future through your own karma. And if I am giving all my time and attention and energy in understanding who went where and who got what and what's happening, so suddenly after people die, everybody is interested. So what is he becoming in the next birth, or what kind of a birth they have. But the thing is, once you die, you don't have any power over where you will land. But when you are alive in this birth, then you have power to choose where you will go in your next birth. And Baba says, please focus on that. And this everybody has to do individually for themselves. And this is a very important teaching that Baba is giving today. So yesterday also, I was conducting a class and there was this sister who said that my husband is into drug addiction and he needs help, but I don't know how to help him. So I said, if you asked a question which helped you improve in this session, then that improvement would have helped him. But if you keep asking how you can help him, but you are not learning how to help yourself, then you cannot help him. So do you understand that even if you want to help somebody, you have to help yourself first. And in order to help yourself, you have to first withdraw your focus from that somebody. Because until that somebody is on your head, you are not even thinking about yourself. And when you're not thinking about yourself, how can you do anything to improve yourself? And you are the only one who can improve yourself, and you are the one who can only improve yourself, not anybody else. So Baba says, stop asking these questions about others and what to do to others and how to change others, because the only thing that's in your control is you, your karma, your future. And everything else will respond to your shift if it is destined to. So Baba says, don't ask these questions, who went where, who did that, how do you change them, or how do you improve them? Because in asking those questions, you are wasting your time and thought of Sangam Yuga. And your whole attention, which can help you improve yourself, you're wasting that. And anyways, that person, so I asked that sister, she asked me, my husband is into drugs and how can I help him? So I asked him, where is he now? So she said he has gone on a holiday. So probably he is there smoking, and you are wasting your Sangam Yuga asking questions about him. So how will you help him if he is doing his thing and you are thinking about him? So where is the man and buddhi available to draw power from Baba and help yourself? So this is a very important, very, very important teaching that Baba is giving us today. And then Baba says that, this drama is being recorded as it is moving and also being enacted, and all of these things are going together. So, and you don't have to be confused about it. This is what Baba is saying. So Baba says, this, whatever is happening in the present second, happened 5,000 years ago. So it is identically repeating. And also while you do it, it is a fresh karma. And then this is going to identically repeat after 5,000 years. Now, there are many things which, when you look from the micro point of view, look like a paradox. But when you look at it from the macro point of view, it is not a paradox. Let me give you another example. So, you see the earth is round, correct? The earth is a sphere. So if you walk on a sphere and go forward, you are actually going backward. Yes, you're walking on a sphere. Imagine a small globe. You're walking on that, moving forward, then you're actually going backward, are you not? But when you walk on earth, are you going backward? So practically you are moving forward, but technically you are moving backward. So there are many paradoxes like this, which when you look at it from the micro view, so the micro view is I am moving forward, but the macro view is you are always moving backwards, you are always going back to where you started. So Baba says this knowledge, so even science, when you don't understand it and apply your limited logic, it can confuse you. But Baba says, similarly, you are doing the exact same thing you did 5,000 years ago, but you don't remember it. So it looks like a fresh thing. And that's why, and whatever you are doing right now will also be repeated again 5,000 years later, because every single second in the drama is connected to the last second and to the next second. So there is a continuity, there is no break. So when it is a continuous cycle, you have to return to the same point after a certain point of time. That's the nature of a cycle. You cannot deviate from that point. That's the nature of the cycle. And Baba says that this is how this drama moves. So every second is connected to the last second and to the next second. So you don't have to get confused in it, because there is no break, there is continuity. So obviously you will return to that same point after a point of time. So Baba says, obviously this will repeat, and it is the same thing that happened 5,000 years ago. But practically when you look at it, since you have no memory, it looks like a fresh karma, fresh act, and you are making the same choices you did. But right now, it doesn't look like a repetition, it looks like a very fresh thing that you're doing. So, this is also something that Baba says. And then in the Murli, Baba today says that you must understand. Baba asks you this question: how many children do you have? You then consider Shiv Baba too to be your child. So tell me which child will benefit you. So Baba asks, so if you have 4 children also and Baba is a 5th child, who will actually benefit you? It is only Shiv Baba. Those 4 cannot benefit you. Therefore, you should make him your heir, shouldn't you? If he is the one who is going to benefit you, then why don't you make him your heir? The time will come when no one will be there for your cremation. So Baba says, parents have this hope that, my child will bury me or, light fire to my funeral. And Baba says there will be time when there will be destruction. Nobody will be able to cremate anybody. So no cremation for anybody. Okay, so no funerals being organized in Vinash. So Baba says, don't wait that your children will do that for you. Nobody will do it for you. Nobody will do it for anybody else. Baba says, therefore, the Father says, renounce everything, including your own bodies, become trustees and continue to follow Srimad. So again, we have to act through knowledge, and knowledge tells me that mine is one Shiv Baba and none other. So when I have strength, so let me understand that my body, mind and wealth, when I give it to Baba, then it will be put to good use and it will create good karma for me. And if I use it according to how I believe it needs to be used in the world, then I will be at loss. So Baba says he continues to give you direction and serves you in order to make you into the masters of heaven. Baba says, I am altruistic. Baba says, I don't take anything. I don't need anything. I don't get anything. I am asking you to do everything. Use your mind, body and wealth according to my directions so that you can have benefit out of it. Only the one Father, the bestower of salvation for all, is altruistic and ever pure. The Father says, children, become my helpers. Baba says this whole world has to change into Satyug and Baba needs our help. Baba says, to become my helper means to become your own helper. But if we help Baba, then it is like helping ourselves, because in being Baba's right hand, when we use our resources, then our resources multiply and we create a fortune for ourselves. Okay, Om Shanti.